Everybody, welcome back into the channel, and today I have a really quick and pretty straightforward video for you today, and it is just pitching tips, setting tips for All-Star difficulty mode here on MLB The Show 19. And what you'll see is that now in the franchise, I've decided to bump everything up to All-Star, including batting. And so I'm on All-Star on everything. We are managing a good record still, nonetheless. I just had a walk-off game the last game in the bottom of the ninth inning, 8-7 win. So we're doing pretty well on the settings, but I wanted to show you guys some useful little tweaks that you can make here in the menus that probably not a lot of people are aware of. And that is, first and foremost, what we have here is the first one was API, and that is Adaptive Pitching Intelligence, and that is up at the top. It shows you this is the pitch suggestions that go on, but it automatically shuts off whenever you're on All-Star or any higher difficulties. So you'll want to know that if you're going on All-Star or better, I recommend you turn API back on. Now, if you're playing online, this is going to be disabled, so you won't get any pitching tips from the catcher. However, a standard part of baseball is that the pitcher and the catcher are communicating back and forth, and you will get those recommendations on pitches to throw. And so if you want a realistic experience, even on a higher difficulty, you're going to want to switch the API on, and this will get you those tips by the catcher telling you which pitch they want you to throw, where they want you to throw it, and it'll be on every single play. Now, if you're on All-Star Standard and you have this on default and it's off, what's going to happen is you can press a button, I believe it's R2 maybe, that will get you a call from the catcher and tell you where he wants to throw. But it's a lot more difficult than just seeing right off the bat, this is what the catcher wants to throw. So if you go and switch API on, this will always give you a tip from the catcher as to where you want to throw the ball, or where they want you to throw the ball, what they recommend in that specific situation. So I highly recommend you turn this one on. And then I have to find the other one where it's at. This is general. So what this will be on for most people is this will be on pitching preview for hot zones. And these are the only two tips that I have come up with after playing so many games that will really make a difference for you guys. So to start with, it'll be on pitching preview. And what will happen is when you come up to pitch against a guy for the first at-bat, for the first ball, prior to throwing your first pitch, it's going to show you what the player's hot zones are, and where they're cold, where they're hot, essentially telling you where you're more likely to get a strike on a player. Well, it's going to be on pitching preview, and what that shows up at the top is hot zones reflect how good a hitter is, blah, 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 blah. In pitching preview, the hot zones will appear for the first pitch of the at-bat only when pitching, and then they'll shut off after that. Well, what I recommend you guys do is that you put them on, just flat out on. And what this will do is that hot zones will always be on for a hitter, and no matter what, you're going to be able to see those red zones and those blue zones and figure out where a pitcher or where a batter is hot and cold. And this is basically just coming from the fact that, pitchers, when they go into a game, they do some research, and they know what they can throw against specific guys, what'll work, especially against better batters. What do you want to try and throw against those guys? And so it's unrealistic to not have that knowledge going into each pitch. Obviously, you're not going to spend the time going into each player and figuring out, oh, this guy's hot in this zone, or this guy's cold in this zone, or this guy's not good against this type of ball. Nobody's going to do that in franchise mode, and the way to simulate that realism of having that knowledge is to have the hot zones on at all times. Now, what you can also do is you can have the always preview on. And what this will do is it'll give you a preview before you throw each pitch. As you can see up at the top, in always preview, the hot zones will appear for the first pitch of the at-bat only when batting or pitching. Oh, that's not what I thought it was. So no, don't go with always preview. Always preview just affects batting. It puts the hot zones on for batting, so that will put it on for your offensive players as well. What you want it to be on is on, flat out on, and this will have the pitching hot zones, the batting hot zones on all the time for you, and that's going to make a big difference for you guys because you're going to see where exactly you want to throw the ball. Now let me go ahead and jump into a game, and I'll just show you real quick what exactly I mean. So we'll just go ahead and jump into our next franchise game here. Not exactly going to play it or save it or anything like that, but I just want to show you guys the difference from what you guys are probably already playing on that's set as the default to what this will be on now. And this will be extremely helpful. So if you guys are playing on All-Star, I highly recommend you guys use these adjustments, or at least try them out for a game or two and see if it helps you out at all. We'll go ahead and skip forward here, that way we can get you some viewing of it. But quick video here today. Alright, so here's what you'll see. To start off with, it's already giving me a recommendation of a pitch to throw. So it's telling me I should throw a sinker, and then it's going to give me a location of where it wants me to throw it. Now, I'm not really going to try and strike this guy out or anything like that, but it's going to give you that recommendation. As you can see, it's going to keep giving you a recommendation of where the catcher thinks you should throw the ball, which is going to help you out because, you know, sometimes the catcher recommendations are pretty good, and the game kind of helps you out in that regard. So certainly can't disagree with that. But what you'll see as well is that you see the hot zones. This guy is cold up in the top left, and what normally happens is that's going to go away after one pitch, so I would no longer see it at this point. But since I have it on, I now see it for the entire length of the at-bat, and so now I'm on my second pitch for this guy, and I can see the same strike zone, the same hot zones that I did before. And we'll go ahead to the third pitch, and it's going to keep popping up for you. And that's the big difference, is that you're always going to be able to see the difference between, you know, what it was as a preview, as opposed to, you know, now you're going to be able to see it for every single pitch. You know where he's hot, where he's cold, where you want to try and challenge a batter at. So that's extremely important. Hopefully these two little tweaks help you guys out. Not you know, huge tips or anything like that, but they make a big difference overall. Whenever you start to play games, you really start to see a difference rack up. Whenever you know, against like good batters, like Manny Machado here, for example, you know, where exactly you can attack these guys and stuff like that. So very helpful tip there. Hopefully this helped you guys out. If it did help you guys out, leave some feedback on the video by leaving a like, a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification button so you're always notified when I upload a new video, new tips, tricks video, whatever it might be, or franchise gameplay. With all that being said, I hope you guys have a great Memorial Day weekend. I hope you guys enjoy the holiday, and I'll see you guys back in the next video, whenever that is.